Well, senior night was dulled a little bit as the Buffaloes followed a similar storyline as of late, having an early lead and ultimately falling to USC 27-24 here under the lights at Folsom Field. Larry Zimmer, Mark Johnson, thanks for joining us on our Buffs recap. Quite an awful good ball game for Colorado. They still have to learn to win, but boy, they went out and played nose-to-nose with a very talented Trojans team.
Boy, they did. They fell behind 3-0, and then they go down and get a touchdown and to get the interception by Jared Bell. It does my heart good to see Jared Bell get that interception.
Yeah,
I mean, he's been around here for 6 years, and they go in and take advantage of it and score. They get a field goal. They're up 17-3, and they give up the field goal right at the end. But as you said, a familiar story in the second half. They just can't hang on to it. They fumble at the wrong time. USC takes it in for a score, and then they have a blocked field goal that turns into a score. So it's those little things, Mark, and that's how close they are or how far away they are.
Christian Powell was the one that had the fumble. Buffaloes were up 17-6 at the half. Christian Powell then with a fumble, short field touchdown, blocked field goal, short field touchdown. In fact, the Buffs gave up 24 unanswered at one point, went from 17-3 to down 27-17.
But then they came back.
Get a late touchdown, 44-yard punt return by Nelson Spruce on senior day. Very short field there, ultimately make it 27-24. That's the final. Now, maybe the big story of this ball game is the Buffs have lost their quarterback. It appears at this point in time. Have not heard that definitively, but Sepulveda went down with a foot injury, and so he's over the season. But Cade Apsey came in and played very well in relief.
I tell you what, I was so happy to see the way Cade played, and because of the ceremony on the field, I saw a little bit of him from field level, and this kid came in there and he was pretty cool, the way he handled himself. And I think you heard that from some of the players after the game, that Cade just sort of took charge out there, and that's a good thing. The guy's a redshirt freshman. He had been in a game before, but this is the first real action, national TV against USC. Hey, I thought he handled himself very, very well.
Yeah, playing with the third stringers in a blowout victory by the Buffaloes against UMass, not quite the same as facing USC, one of the more talented teams in the country, in crunch time. Now, it's a familiar storyline, Colorado just not figuring out how to get over the hump. And we talked with Gary Barnett in the broadcast late in this one. Sometimes it's that last 6 inches which becomes the toughest, because you get to a certain point where you're playing even with teams. This team's got to learn how to get over that winning hump now.
Well, and I think it's a matter of depth. I think Colorado's talent is there on the front line, and that's how, it seems like every week they play pretty well early on in the game. Stanford last week tied 7-7 in the first quarter. But as the game goes on, they get worn down. They don't have the second line people to put in there like the other teams that come in. So it's a process, and Coach McIntyre has said that time and again. It's a process, and if they weren't progressing, I'd say that's a problem, but they are progressing. They're a lot better football team than they were a year ago. You can't tell it by the wins and losses, unfortunately.
Yeah, the Buffaloes now are 4-7 on the campaign. They've got 2 games left. I thought the Buffs were going to get Zimba win on his 80th birthday here in this final home game.
Boy, I thought so too.
By the way, I was told, and we did not talk to Mike McIntyre, and the mass media did not talk to Mike McIntyre after the ballgame. I was told by all the folks down in the locker room, this is as angry and upset about a game as they've seen Mike McIntyre in 3 seasons here.
Well, I guess I can understand that. I mean, it just seems like it sort of makes us angry too,
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same thing every week, that they're right there and they can't make the play that's going to put them over the top, and or 2 or 3 plays, I guess I should say. And I'm not surprised that he's angry. You know what, though? He's a football coach. He's the son of a coach. He's been through it.
Yep.
By the time he gets back with his team, he'll be ready to get ready for Washington State.
Yeah, I think the Buffs have 2 games remaining now. They're sitting, as I mentioned, 4-7 on the season. They're 1-6 in Pac-12 conference play. Next week, we'll be in Pullman, Washington. Oh, that's always a fun trip as they take on Washington State. And Mike Leach will hit the air at 6:30 on our flagship KOA News Radio, AM 850 and 94.1 on the FM side. Our network affiliates will pick up at 7:05 and again about 7:45 or 8:45, I beg your pardon, Mountain Time. The Buffaloes will kick it off against the Cougars. Happy birthday to this guy, number 80. How about 80 years young for this guy? Couldn't get him a win here tonight. As the Buffs fall, though, 27-24 to USC. For Larry Zimmer and Mark Johnson, thanks for joining us on our Buffs recap here on CUBuffs.com.